unorthodox he is, he needs to stay that way to offset the punching power of Hector Lombard.
Bellator Fighting Championships and FullTiltPoker.net. Learn, chat, and play with the pros tonight from Bellator 34 here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Now present 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator World Middleweight Championship. And now introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears the black at 5'11", weighing in at 184 3/4 pounds. The Russian Army combat-trained striker brings a veteran professional record with 30 victories, 19 by knockout, 4 by way of submission against 4 defeats. Training out of Saturn and representing Rus fighters, the Bellator Season 2 middleweight tournament champion from Omsk, Russia, introducing the challenger, Alexander "Storm" Shlemenko. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the white trimmed in black at 5'9", weighing in at 183 1/4 pounds. In Bellator Season 1, he captured the title with 3 straight wins by TKO. Tonight, the Cuban judo Olympian, as a freestyle fighter, enters the cage with 26 victories, 14 by knockout, 6 by submission, against 2 defeats with 1 draw and 1 no contest. Widely recognized to be one of the top middleweights in the world today, by way of Queensland, Australia, fighting out of American top team, Coconut Creek, Florida, presenting the defending Bellator World Middleweight Champion, Hector Lombard. And inside the cage, the referee in charge of the action, Troy Waugh.
Gentlemen, we all know the rules. I want a good, clean fight. I will not tolerate anything less. Let's touch gloves, go back to your corner. Let's get ready to rock and roll.
This for Bellator's World Middleweight Championship. Alexander Shlemenko is in the black trunks. The champion, Hector Lombard, is in the white trunks. Troy Waugh is the referee, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
Judge, are you ready? Judge, are you ready? Judge, are you ready? Fight, are you ready?
Are you ready? And he charges out, ready to go.
You ready? Fight!
Why am I not surprised?
Round number 1.
I think I know the strategy here. Hector Lombard is moving forward, punching.
Shlemenko opens with a head kick. Lombard swinging and winging early.
And he is looking for a first-round knockout. Shlemenko has to survive the early storm.
Lombard going for the judo throw. Couldn't find it. Bouncing the step of the Russian Alexander Shlemenko.
He likes those tight inside punches. A cut on the top of Hector Lombard's head. Might have come from a headbutt. Their heads were very close together. Good right hand.
Cut is in the hairline. Big left punches. Left-handed punches. Spinning back fist by Shlemenko, and he pays the price.
That uppercut is there all day. And there's the takedown.
Takedown from the body lock by Hector Lombard. Closed guard by Alexander Shlemenko.
Oh, that's a big elbow. Hector Lombard so short, so powerful on the ground. Shlemenko trying to lock up the triangle, but no luck with that. Saw a lot of blood on Shlemenko's stomach. I'm not quite sure who it's from. I think it's from the head of Hector Lombard. And Hector just all over Shlemenko here.
Shlemenko back to his feet, throwing the backwards elbow.
The question here is, how long can Lombard keep this pace? I know he's in great shape, but it's been a while since we've seen Hector Lombard go for more than a minute.
Get a lot of bounce in the step of Alexander Shlemenko.
There better be a lot of bounce in his step. He's got to keep moving.
Lombard walking forward, and again, bleeding from the cut in his hairline. Body kick, cut, and the takedown by Lombard, closed down again by Shlemenko.
And I think this is where Lombard has a distinct advantage, is on the ground. Not only with his judo and his jiu-jitsu, but his ground and pound.
Watch the thumb, Hector. Watch the fingers in the eyes, Hector.
Lombard, for good reason, has been seen as of late as a pure striker and knockout puncher in MMA. But again, he played judo for Cuba at the 2000 Olympic Games and is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Under Marcus Conan Silveira, an American top team. Phenomenal jiu-jitsu coach, but good sweep by Shlemenko.
Top position by Alexander Shlemenko and looking for the rear naked choke.
Now he's going for the arm.
Close guard again by Alexander Shlemenko.
Lombard just
straight arm bar.
Lombard just moving too well.
Punches nicely blocked by Shlemenko. Shlemenko said one of his keys to victory, keep his hands high.
See a nice knot over the right eye of Shlemenko.
Keeping his hands high means on the feet and on the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are. No one can eat many of those shots.
That is a big knot above the right eye of Shlemenko.
I give him credit. He is hanging tough, trying to stay defensive on the ground. Big key to this fight is dragging Hector Lombard into the deep water, frustrating him for at least that first couple rounds and seeing if you can get something done in the third, fourth, fifth round.
Another big elbow strike by Lombard.
Man, you can hear that head just thudding off the ground.
Very low close guard held by Shlemenko. Below the waistline of Hector Lombard.
It's more of a sweeper's guard. Hard to get submissions there. You need to walk your legs up to get a lot of submissions. Usually guys are looking for a sweep or they're looking to do that. Put their foot on the hip and stand up and have their guard that low.
Left hand to the jaw by Lombard. Final minute of round number one. Shlemenko now walking up his guard, repositions. Another short elbow by Lombard.
There's a time when having a short, stocky build hurts you, and there are times it helps you. On top, with ground and pound, it helps you. You can throw punches and not leave a whole lot behind.
Shlemenko now holding his man chest to chest. There will be no wipeout victory for Hector Lombard in round number one in this fight. Lombard, though, in a dominant position at the moment.
Watch the top of the head.
Closing seconds of round number one of this title bout, and we are headed to round number two. Bellator middleweight Brian Baker watching cage side here at Bellator 34 at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida.
Sir.
Accompanied by his trainer and mentor, Thomas Wildman Denny.
Back up.
Baker is the man that Shlemenko defeated in the championship bouts of Bellator's Season 2 middleweight tournament to earn the right to face the champion in this bout tonight, Hector Lombard. Shlemenko is in the black trunks, Lombard is in the white trunks. Spinning back kick and then the takedown.
The problem is Hector closes distance so effectively. If you spin, you turn, he is all over you. He doesn't sit back and wait. He doesn't pull back off the spinning moves. He goes in, which is what you're supposed to do. He does it very well.
3 judges scoring cage side from the state of Florida. Jimmy, you have the unofficial scorecard.
But 10-9 Hector Lombard. He certainly won that first round. I wouldn't call it a 10-8 just because they're so incredibly rare
Go the fence.
in MMA. I would say 10-9 Hector Lombard.
Go the fence. Go the fence.
I always wonder what it's like to be a referee. Shlemenko speaks no English. He does not know what you are saying. So you're saying let go of the fence, he doesn't know what you're talking about. Not an easy thing to do.
Troy Waugh had to slap the glove, and then Shlemenko took the hint.
Yeah, and then he gets it. And a lot of physical cues.
Shlemenko has told us that he wants to represent pure strikers in mixed martial arts.
Whoa, nice
head kick. Push kick, nearly caught by Lombard, then he pushes his way forward.
Well, the thing is, there are no such thing as pure strikers in MMA. You have to know at least enough to survive, and Shlemenko certainly does.
Lombard making that takedown look fairly routine. Close guard by the Russian Alexander Shlemenko. Again, in round number one, Lombard cut in the hairline and a huge knot forming over the right eye of Alexander Shlemenko. That knot is not going away.
And it's like a bullseye. I mean, Hector Lombard knows it's there. He's going to target it. Do everything he can to make that thing swell and get worse and worse and worse.
Two fighters who have combined for 57 career pro MMA wins.
Or roughly half of what Jeremy Horn has won in his career. That's so many in MMA. So many. 20, 30 fights apiece. That's incredible.
Shlemenko repositioning his ankles and keeping that low sweeper's guard below the waistline of Hector Lombard. Lombard posturing up on the knees, looking for punching distance.
Let's work the position. Improve your position.
It's a nice short left hand by Lombard.
You know, Shlemenko has gone further than any of Hector Lombard's Bellator opponents in 2010. He's not the kind of guy who's going to take a lot of comfort in that. He's here to win. He's not here to hang on and just have a moral victory. He really wants this belt. He wants to win, and that may sound normal, but a lot of guys we see, Sean, don't. They want to make a statement or kind of just do better, but they don't necessarily have the drive to face a guy like Hector Lombard. And Shlemenko certainly does.
For such a flashy style, Lombard really has a workman's-like approach that I truly respect in MMA. He said a win is a win. I like knockouts, I like submissions. I just want to win. I don't care how. Decision is fine with me.
Shlemenko doing a good job of getting back to his feet.
And again, that takedown. Lombard again getting the back of Alexander Shlemenko. Good uppercut with the right hand by Hector Lombard.
Shlemenko likes turning his back, but he does it very quickly. Tries to get back to his feet before Hector can take him down again. Or, I'm sorry, before he can sink his hooks in.
Body lock held by Lombard. Lombard telling us that he absolutely never trains judo anymore, but he still puts on the gi 3 to 4 times a week to train his Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Body kick by Shlemenko.
Good right hand. And one thing you cannot question here is Shlemenko's chin or heart. He's taken some very hard shots, Sean.
Lombard continuing to walk forward. That knot getting bigger and bigger over the right eye on the forehead of Alexander Shlemenko. And again, the takedown, the double leg by Lombard. He's making those takedowns look less than difficult.
No, he certainly is, and it's that physical power. Once he gets in and gets a hold of you, he's just so physically dominant and takes you down every single time.
Shlemenko from flat on his back trying to throw the left hand. Make no mistake, Shlemenko feels that his chance to win this fight is standing and standing alone. Throwing his punches, his elbows, his kicks, and his knees.
If you think about it, if you got the perfect triangle, how hard it would be to hold on someone as powerful as Hector Lombard.
We are headed to round 3.
Doctor.
We are headed into round number 3 of this Bellator World Middleweight title fight. Alexander Shlemenko versus that man, the champion Hector Lombard.
Go ahead and step out.
In between rounds, the ringside physician taking a close look at Alexander Shlemenko. I think he's all right so far.
Back up. Time. Neutral
They'll
corner.
only let you take so much.
Sir,
Time called by referee Troy Waugh.
Don't know what they're calling time for.
It's for the doctor, Jimmy.
Doctor comes in again.
Looking at that knot on the forehead above the right eye of Alexander Shlemenko.
That's strange. He looked at it in the corner in between rounds. Referee just wants another look at it.
Okay.
Neither one of these guys wants to back up at all.
Time in, the bell, round 3. Shlemenko in the black trunks, Lombard in the white trunks.
Shlemenko, another good right hand.
Shlemenko takes steps backwards now in a defensive posture. Jimmy, how do you have this scored?
Oh, good spinning back. It's 2 rounds to none. Hector Lombard. The only question is whether or not a judge would see any of those last 2 rounds as 10-8s. But definitely Hector Lombard ahead, 2 rounds to none.
This is the 9th time in Alexander Shlemenko's career that he has gone past 2 rounds, and the 10th time in Hector Lombard's career that he has gone past 2 rounds.
Russian fighters typically so well conditioned.
Lead by Shlemenko. The quote of the year in our Bellator fighter meetings, the first time we had Alexander Shlemenko, the quarterfinal rounds of Bellator's Season 2 middleweight tournament.
Oh, good takedown.
Through his Russian translator, he said, "My knees are a gift from God." And he believed it, too. Still does.
He does have very powerful knees. The problem is that to be in the clinch with Hector Lombard is very difficult. He has great throws, great takedowns. Do you want to get in that kind of range with him? And he's very hard to catch coming in because he moves forward very quickly off very powerful punches.
Shlemenko now in the open guard.
Alex, Nicola.
Closed guard again, a low closed guard held by Shlemenko.
Rewind to the first season of Bellator against Jared Hess in the late round, into the fourth round. Hector Lombard looked fresh, still doing damage, still punishing. He keeps the pressure on.
Watch the fingers.
Obviously, Shlemenko has a better chance dragging into the late rounds, but so far, Hector looks to be in good shape.
Gentlemen, let's work.
Shlemenko looking to the referee, Troy Waugh. Again, Shlemenko speaks no English. Waugh speaks no Russian, but Shlemenko, I believe, claiming that he was thumbed or fingered in the eye by Hector Lombard.
It may be that or maybe inactivity. He may be looking at the ref going, hey, nothing's going on. Let's stand us up.
Now on top of the head. Ready? Ready? Fight!
Centering restart. Shlemenko right now where he wants to be on his feet. Quite possibly Lombard wants to be on his feet as well. But clearly Lombard getting the better of things on the ground in this fight. Another knee by Shlemenko. Shlemenko missing badly with that right hand to the body. And landing the kick.
Good level change by Hector Lombard.
Another takedown, cool as you like, by Hector Lombard.
Well, he's making him pay for those kicks. You can hear the thud. Twice he's landed nice rib kicks against Hector Lombard, but both times he's been taken down off of him.
Jimmy, if you were in the corner of Alexander Shlemenko, what would you want him to do in this position?
In this position, he needs to get back to his feet. I don't see him catching Hector Lombard in a submission. He's got an angle, put his feet on his hips, get some space, cage walk, get your back to the cage and get back on your feet. That's his best shot. He did a good job in the first couple rounds scrambling and getting back to his feet. Got to keep that strategy going.
Lombard posturing up on his left knee. Now on both feet. Again, Lombard looking for punching distance. Body head with the right hand by Lombard. Again, Shlemenko closes guard.
Improve your position, gentlemen. Improve your position.
Minute 15 of this fight. Again, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
Crowd's starting to get a little restless here. But also the style of Shlemenko seems to be tie him up, get it back to the feet.
Not enough action for referee Troy Waugh, so the stand-up. Spinning back kick, and that landed by Shlemenko.
It didn't even slow Hector down. He took his shot, just kept on walking.
Lombard didn't even wince. Another takedown by Lombard. Jimmy, for me, that's the story of the fight. The ease in which Lombard is taking down Shlemenko.
Certainly beautiful throw there.
Closing seconds of round number 3. We're headed to deep water in round number 4. To the surprise, Jimmy, of perhaps many, we are headed to round number 4 of this Bellator World Middleweight title fight. Alexander Shlemenko versus the champion Hector Lombard. I don't think Shlemenko is surprised that we're going to round number 4.
I'm not that surprised either. This is a tough dude. He's taking a serious beating, but he's still right in the fight. That's a warrior, Sean. That really is.
Keep in mind, Shlemenko did not come here for moral victories.
Yeah, he did not. That's an important thing to keep in mind.
Alexander Shlemenko is in the black trunks. Bellator's reigning world champion at 185 pounds, Hector Lombard, is in the white trunks. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
3 rounds to none for Hector Lombard, 30-27. Once again, only question is, can you give any of those 10-8?
Shlemenko landing a kick there. Lombard just not bothered by the kicks. Push kick there. Lombard just missing with the right hand.
You know those sides of beef in the Rocky movie? That's what his ribs look like from here. It looks like beef that should be hanging in a slaughterhouse or something. Now, you hit that all day, it would make absolutely no difference.
That's well said. Shlemenko just missing with that spinning back kick. Lombard catching that kick. And again, the takedown. And again, a low close guard by Alexander Shlemenko. So in round 3, Jimmy, I asked you about what you would say to Shlemenko if you were in his corner. For Lombard, he's continually in this position in this fight. What would you be saying to Lombard if you were in his corner?
Do what you're doing. You're winning. You're up 3 rounds to none. Keep doing what you're doing. Maybe try and pass a little bit more. Try and get in a dominant position. He's having trouble landing great ground and pound from the closed guard. Try and pass, maybe get to half guard and really lay it on this guy. But once again, I don't know what he's been doing in training. That is huge. I have no idea what they've been working on in camp. Those are the things you do during the fight.
Lombard really talks about a champion being made in training. That talent only gets you so far in this sport and indeed in life. Lombard telling us in his fighter meeting that he is always training, and he's always training the same way, whether he's getting ready for a fight or whether he doesn't have anything scheduled.
No, he's a gym rat. He's a gym rat. He's in the gym every day. He told us I'm always in there working out. He's one of those guys, I'm sure if you go to ATT any day of the week, you're going to find Hector Lombard doing something.
Another knee by Shlemenko, another knee by Shlemenko. Sprawl, but still the takedown by Lombard.
I'm really impressed with Hector's level change. Now, it's here when he's been behind Shlemenko that he's had a little bit of trouble. He doesn't want to commit to put the hooks in. Has one in now.
Now thinking about the rear naked choke. Thought about it briefly and decided against it.
Shlemenko standing up. Now he has 2 hooks. Lets it go.
In a suplex position. Lombard may go for an outside trip. And that's just what he would look to do.
The problem with the suplex, it takes a lot of energy. It's great, crowd loves it. It takes a lot of energy to lift a guy up and drop him.
This is the 3rd time that Alexander Shlemenko
Beautiful throw once
has
again.
gone past 3 rounds.
Shlemenko's so good with that technique. He rolls to his stomach, gets on all fours, and is able to power back to his feet. That's surprising.
Lombard, of course, winning this Bellator World title 185 pounds in round number 4 when he defeated Jared Hess. That was by way of doctor stoppage TKO. Blood again flowing. That cut in the hairline of Hector Lombard that opened up in the early stages of round 1.
They're right in front of us here. Another takedown for Hector Lombard. Shlemenko just can't get that clinch game going. He can't get a consistent plumb and be able to throw the knees, because every time he does, Hector Lombard pushes right forward and takes him down.
Final minute of round 4.
Shlemenko looking referee like, hey, he's not doing anything. Stand us up. Well, I think that's what he's saying. I don't know. Body language tells me that he's looking at the ref going, hey, nothing's happening. Stand up.
Call to improve the position for both fighters by referee Troy Waugh.
For Shlemenko, it's virtually impossible to improve this position. It's really hard unless you have great jiu-jitsu.
Dying seconds of round 4. We are headed to a 5th and final round. This is the 35th Pro MMA fight for Alexander Shlemenko and the 31st Pro MMA fight for Hector Lombard. The first time that either man will go into round 5 in professional mixed martial arts.
Hector Lombard is a champion, and this is the round where champions are made.
Round number 5 of this Bellator World Middleweight title bout. Alexander Shlemenko is in the black trunks. Hector Lombard, the champion, making his first title defense, is in the white trunks. And again, time called before the start of round 5. The ringside physician looking into the ear of Alexander Shlemenko. Jimmy, I've been around this sport a long time. I've been around boxing a long time. I've never seen a ringside or cage-side physician look in a fighter's ear during a bout.
I'm curious about, I don't know exactly what he'd be looking for. Maybe some kind of problem with the jaw that's going back. That's all I can think of that he'd be checking for. Back there would be a broken jaw, bleeding in the ear.
In this 5th and final round, Jimmy, how do you have it scored?
4 rounds to none for Hector Lombard, 40-36. Could call a couple of those 10-8s. Shlemenko still throwing back in this 5th round.
Shlemenko landing on the inside.
He's letting it all hang out. I like that attitude.
Lombard could not get the takedown there.
And make no mistake, he's getting dominated in this fight. Shlemenko came to fight. He's not resting, waiting for the bell to say I went the distance with Hector Lombard. He is here to fight. He's been frustrated by the ground game, the top control of Hector Lombard. And this is what he wants. He wants to finish this fight on his feet. He wants a knockout if he can get it. Yes, 3 minutes, 55 seconds to do it.
Shlemenko putting a lot of grunts behind those punches, missing with that kick. Lombard is standing there in the center of the cage for Shlemenko. Shlemenko just cannot land his power shots. It's not as though Lombard's an elusive target right now.
No, he isn't. But he doesn't want to open himself up.
That's a big spinning back fist. Lombard again trying to slowly walk down his man. Shlemenko moving to his right, missing with that left hand. That big knot on the forehead over the right eye of Alexander Shlemenko has not really turned out to be a problem in this fight.
This is where Hector has been so successful on top. Shlemenko turtling up every time, though.
That's been the problem for Alexander Shlemenko in this fight, Jimmy, the takedown game of Hector Lombard.
You know, what it does is it hasn't given Shlemenko the opportunity to figure out the timing of Hector Lombard. He's the kind of guy who wanted to catch him coming in, catch him with the knees, but they'd strike just enough for him to get beaten up, and then he would take Shlemenko down. Shlemenko hasn't figured out really Hector's timing. He hasn't had time for it.
Calling in for action by referee Troy Waugh.
Let's go, Jim, let's work.
Lombard just holding the position. Knee to the rib cage. And again, the center ring restart on the stand-up. Shlemenko.
Nice combination.
1-2 on the inside, then missing with the head kick. More aggression, though, from the Russian. Sprawl that time by Shlemenko. Knee by Alexander Shlemenko.
Let go of the fence. Let go of the fence. Let go of the fence.
Lombard again holding the waist cinch.
Shlemenko finally figuring out how to land some decent strikes against Hector Lombard in this 5th and final round.
Body lock now held by the former Cuban judo Olympian Hector Lombard. Shlemenko holding his own body lock, but that's defensively. Lombard's offensive body lock is still being held. Shlemenko again gesturing to referee Troy Waugh. And that's what Shlemenko wanted. 25th and final minute of this Bellator World title fight in the middleweight division.
Shlemenko's got to leave it all on the line. 40 seconds left. See if he can be a world champion. So far, he has been dominated by Hector Lombard, but there's no quit in this fighter.
Shlemenko trying to be busier, throwing the knee. Lombard again looking for the takedown, could not get it there. Beautifully done on the trip. This fight will go the distance. All 5 rounds will be completed. The bell, the end of the bout. When we return, we will learn the winner of this Bellator World Middleweight title fight, Alexander Shlemenko versus Hector Lombard.
The same at 49-46, all for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the Bellator World